What up? It's the real Keith, any other fabrication of your imagination.
And I'm here to talk about the new anime series that just dropped, Petals of Reincarnation. What's crazy is I had just heard about the manga to this literally right before I seen the trailer to the new season. And I actually been wanting to put some of the characters in versus battles, but I just didn't know who to put them up against. But the series is about these people that are called returners, and they have what you call a talent. And these talents essentially come from being reincarnated from someone who left a mark on the world, and it could be a good or a bad thing. It could be someone that's like a warrior, or someone like a scientist, or even a dictator. And the way to find out if you have a talent or not is extremely crazy, because you're supposed to slice your own throat. And if you don't have a talent, you literally just die. And there's two different coalitions. One is called the Forest of the Greats, and they're the good returners, and they're mostly filled with scientists or warriors that were considered good. And then you have the Cold Army, which is mostly filled with warlords or dictators. And the episode starts off with us meeting our MC. His name is Toya Senji, and he's sitting in class worried that he doesn't have any talent. And there's a new exchange student that joins his class, and her name is Haito. And she takes a strange liking to Toya, saying that he looks just like someone. And after school, Toya starts walking home, and then he sees a gruesome sight. He sees some police officers dead with their heads cut off. And we're introduced to our first returner, and this first returner is rogue and not a part of either one of the coalitions. And this returner is based off the serial killer Albert Fish. I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't know who he is, but he's an American serial killer, and he's probably the worst serial killer in American history. And I know that's very hard to actually do because Jeffrey Dahmer exists. But he's honestly probably even worse than Jeffrey Dahmer, but I'm not gonna go into details about him. But if you're interested, you should probably look him up. But anyway, Albert was just about to attack Toya, and then Haito showed up and they hid from Albert. You see, Haito is a member of the Forest of the Great, and she explains to Toya how getting the talent works, and that he has to slice his own throat. And then she slices her throat and shows him, and a whole bunch of petals starts flying out of her neck. And the person that she reincarnated from was Miyamoto Musashi, the swordsman. And she hands Toya her phone, and there's another returner on the phone named Newman, based off the Hungarian-American mathematician John von Neumann. And she explains a little more to Toya, and Haito kills Albert, and when she goes to look back at Toya, he's gone. And we see that Toya slit his own throat, and he ended up with a talent. And the next morning, Haito's at his house to get her knife back, and her and Toya have a conversation, and we get a little backstory on him. He has a big brother that he's always being compared to, and never really had any kind of talent, while his big brother had all the talent. And then she takes him to the Forest of the Great to meet Newman. And after he's done talking to them, he heads home and sees this woman getting robbed. And that's when you find out what his talent is. The robber runs past him, and he uses his ability, which he's able to steal. Like, that's literally the talent. He can steal real good. It's based off of a criminal's talent. But he didn't steal the purse back. He stole the contents inside the purse and gave it to the woman. And she was still upset, saying that she wanted the purse back. The stuff inside of it was useless because the purse was more valuable. And she chases after the robber, but he passes out on the ground bleeding everywhere. And he was on the phone with Newman the whole time. He didn't just steal the stuff out of her purse, he also stole some of the robber's blood, which put the robber in an anemic state. And then he goes on his first mission. He's with Haito, and they're going after Vlad the Impaler, also known as Dracula for some of the people. And he was a ruler of Wallachia, which is modern day Romania. In the 15th century, he fought and repelled the Ottoman Empire, and known for his brutality. And after each battle, he would impale his targets while they were still alive, and leave them sitting there for their allies to see. And he's known as the real life Dracula, and where Bram Stoker got the idea from, but he actually doesn't drink blood. That was just a little fun fact. And Haito starts to fight Vlad, and her 10 minutes are up. And Toya doesn't have an ability ability that's good for combat, so he's not much he can do. But Vlad was near a wall and Toya came and snuck up behind the wall and stole something from out of Vlad's chest. It didn't really do much damage though, and Vlad was still ready to fight some more, but somebody called him to come back to home base. It was a disembodied voice, and that voice said that Toya looks just like somebody, but they're not saying who, and I'm not going to spoil it. And then they all leave and go their separate ways. Toya goes stand by a river on a bridge, and Vlad shows up. And Vlad is upset, extremely pissed off, and then we find out that the attack Toya did earlier that we thought did no damage actually stole Vlad's ability. And Vlad had the ability to make stakes come out of almost anywhere as long as it's not the air. And he also can't do it directly on someone's body. But Toya uses Vlad's ability against him and he kills him. And that's where the episode ends. So I'm pretty hyped to see the rest of this anime. I've been kind of waiting for it to drop for about a year now, honestly. But that's all I got for you today. For more reviews, and if you like versus battles, like, share, subscribe, and comment. It don't cost you a dime while it costs me time. Follow Universal Debates on Facebook. I also created a subreddit for tournament style series like Majo Tyson, Tenkaichi, Record of Ragnarok, DCKO, and etc. All links in the description.